Hi, welcome to ClojureScript episode 11, Macros. Hi, I'm Zubair. So, to demonstrate macros, I want to show you a real-world example. So, here's the Clojure on Coils framework. Now, you'll see at the top, we have this navigation bar, which is styled by Bootstrap.js from Twitter. And you can see when we mouse over, it changes the content. Now, if we look in the code, this is the code here. So you can see when we go over case studies or contact, it changes. Just to show you that this is in fact the correct place, we can comment out that code. You can see it recompiles. We'll reload the web page. Now those. So I commented out the home button, sorry. Okay, so now home doesn't do anything when you mouse over, so that's correct. I was wondering why these were still working. It's because I put these in the wrong order. It should really be home and docs first. See, I'm editing the framework while I'm doing this podcast. Okay, so start with the home, docs, contact. No, contact should be last. Okay, let's comment all of these out to make it easier. Okay, so that's compiled. So now none of the links work. Then we say, okay, if we mouse over the contact button, then do something. Recompiles. There, it does something. Now, we're not here to talk about event handling. We're here to talk about macros. So what's this got to do with macros? Well, this is in fact a macro here on mouse over. Now, the reason it's a macro is because we pass in arguments which are code. So let me explain this a bit further by showing you how we would have to implement this without a macro. So let's comment this out again. Yes, so the contact button isn't working. Here's the macro we call, and that calls on mouse over function. Okay. So I'll need to add that here. Function. mouse over function. So when we go over the contact button, we can just output something in JavaScript. JS alert mouse over contact button. Okay, that's compiled, so let's try that. Oh, that hasn't worked. Let's see why. Call client on mouse over function. Element mouse over function. Okay, it's working now. Maybe I hadn't saved the top nav file. So now you can see when we mouse over contact, it calls a function. Now, the thing is, if you look at the definition, if you see what we've called this thing here on mouse over function. Now, if we look at the definition here, you can see you pass in a function to call and an element to on mouse over function. Now, that works fine, but the thing is, it's a little bit ugly that we have to do this fn stuff here. So we make a macro so that we can just enter code like this. And the reason we have to do that is because if we don't make it as a macro, then it will evaluate this JS alert before we've even moused over, and I can show you that as an example. Hopefully it will work. So see, so it calls Java the alert function even though we haven't moused over yet. No, that's not going to work because it's not a function actually. So to get rid of this function part, let's comment this out. Now we'll use the macro here, on mouse over here. And here you can see that's here, and it's def macro. So we pass in an element and one or more lines of code, and then we add the fn behind the scenes. So now the code looks more natural. In fact, I could do the same code, the JavaScript code here, and I could use the function. So you could say on mouse over, and it will use the macro JS alert mouse over macro contact button. Now we can remove the fn. That compiles. There, mouse over macro contact button. So the main thing is that macros mean that you can make your code shorter and you can alter the language itself. So I don't know what you think, but I think that this is a lot more readable than having the version with the fn in it as well, with the function in it. Anyway, I just wanted to show you why you should use a macro, and this is a real example of how it can make a developer's life easier. and that's all I wanted to show. Okay, thanks a lot. See you next time. Bye.